Hi everyone, I am Hemali and I welcome you to the video recording notes of AI for Researchers that we had on 13th July 2026 at ATH. This is a comprehensive set of detailed video notes based on our webinar structure. This can be used to revise what we learned in the webinar. Most of the things that we discussed in those 2 hours are nicely presented here. So, introducing AI integrated research from data chaos to the therapist within. The core philosophy is the sandwich protocol. We all are blessed to be in the field of humanity that presents us with a purpose to serve the most beautiful thing on earth, the human soul. We can connect directly with the universe, where it comes from. The soul connection can be done through us in one way. As we adapt ourselves to the latest technology of the world, helping the growth of mankind, it feels like a moral duty to understand the technology in the correct way so that we can use the beautiful canopy of the tree of life while keeping the foundation of ancient wisdom roots strong and healthy as well. We have already made the best decision to build up the purpose in mental wellness, not just as a student or as an intern or as a professional, but as a researcher. As we all are forever researchers, we tend to learn new things. Every single day, we need to keep in mind that research is not a mechanical task, it is a human calling. To maintain our human integrity while we learn the artificial intelligence, we will use the sandwich protocol. So, as it looks like in a image of a sandwich, the bottom bread always has to be the human intent. Born in the human brain, your thoughts, your scribbles, your mental maps, the why behind your research stays here. Just like how we decided to pick up this particular niche of for research from the vast options that were available in the ocean. That thought itself was an human intent. The idea of what topic you want to do in your research was born in your own human brain. That is also an human intent. We never start building our sandwich without a bottom bread, and this is our bottom bread. The next is the filling. It's like an AI intern. The processing power. We leverage AI as tools for different things like retrieval, sorting, strategy, and so on. Once our human intent is in place, even if it is raw and messy, we can start using different AI tools to make it qualitatively and quantitatively better and start using the knowledge that is available on the World Wide Web to further build on a research. We will learn the filling of the sandwich, that is AI, for ourselves in 4 levels. The top bread level, that is the human synthesis, was the final part of the sandwich, right? So we started with the bottom bread, which was human intent. We are completing the bread with the top bread, that is human synthesis. Your unique human judgment, the real-time experience in therapy, the ethical seal, all these things comes in the top bread. Once you complete using AI for the development of your research, it is now time to write the research. This is the most important note of the whole learning AI process that I have presented you today. AI should not be used to write the research paper. The best use of AI is to use it to accompany you, to connect with similar research ethically with the whole world. Without following this, the research is hollow and it is not yours. It belongs to AI. And we don't want that, right? The best method to learn anything in depth is to view the learning process under the lens of ancient wisdom. to explain the different layers in which we can understand AI, to map the doctoral journey, ensuring that it is not just technically correct but also spiritually integrated and with due respect to its actual spiritual meaning. I am going to use the Panchakosha model to explain the different levels in which we can learn AI. So, the first layer is the Annamaya Kosha, which we all know. Here, I am going to talk in comparison with AI, where we will talk about the physical understanding of AI in the first level. So, how do you learn AI at the first level, at the superficial level? You demystify the tool and build a repository. So, irrespective of which AI tool you start to learn, the first step is always to just open that tool, the UI, UX, the interface of that particular tool which is visible on your device is the first layer. Don't start using it immediately. Go through everything that you see on your screen. Understand the different tabs, buttons, workspace, the sub-tools that are there, the data that you require to fill in. See what kind of different subscriptions are there to offer by them. What are the details of those subscriptions and so on. Instead of directly using the AI tool, let us first learn about how this AI tool actually looks like. This marks your first layer of learning. Now, the second layer, when we speak about the Pranamaya Kosha, it always speaks about the flow of energy. In this case, we are learning about the flow of data in AI. It's like breathing life into the raw data which is there from the universe. After understanding the physical appearance of any AI tool, now we start understanding how it connects to the universe. Now, AI is built on the data that is fed to it. Just like the physical body of AI will not be enough, there needs to be a flow of energy inside it, and that is what will make it vital. This flow is the way in which the AI tool connects with the data that we feed in and the data that is already available in the universe. By understanding the method of connectivity of the tool or the design of connectivity, we will further understand which app is appropriate for what kind of work that you are looking for. And of course, the Wi-Fi, the signals that flows through it, is also the second layer. The third is the mind of AI, the Manamaya Kosha. Here, AI is used by sorting themes, identifying the patterns, and so on. Most casual AI users will not come up to this layer of learning. This is where our main study as researchers will start, just as we do in our therapy. The third layer is where we try to understand when we talk about giving therapy to the client. Once we are aware about how the physical and energy levels of AI is working, we dive deep into understanding how the same AI tools thinks. We learn from the AI tool, we understand the theme and how it can sort or categorize the data that has received into different patterns. Once we learn this layer in the correct way, we can get AI to work for us at a deeper level, which is not needed for the casual AI users. But it is the must starting step for researchers who wants to use AI. Next comes the intellect of AI, that is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. This level of AI is important for checking the ethics, building strategies and arguments. Now, if you stop at the third layer, you will definitely get enough answers that you need to understand the knowledge that is available in the world with respect to whatever your topic is. But research never ends there. Research is about understanding whether the knowledge is correct or not. Your research paper makes sense when you are able to believe in what you have presented and when you are completely able to defend what you present. At last but not the least, the research is considered as an amazing one if it opens different doors of multiple researchers for other researchers and if it has practical application value for the living. For this, we need to understand how AI tools can ethically set checks on our research and help us to understand the intellect of our research. We can use this layer of tools to learn how AI can be used for building strategies, mock arguments, future development on our research papers. Finally, the fifth layer, the Anandamaya Kosha, the bliss of AI. Humanizing the output through reflection and experience is what is supposed to be done here. Artificial intelligence lacks the only thing that human intelligence has, and that is the soul. The ananda, the bliss, cannot be synthesized from AI. This is exactly where we need the top layer of the bread of our sandwich model, and that is human synthesis. Whatever we extract from AI is presented to us by an expert in artificial intelligence. We as researchers need to present this further into the world as an expert in human intelligence. Therefore, once all the layers of AI are learnt in detail, a reflective human conclusion has to be given to the learning extracted from the above four layers. This will complete the research work done doing or using AI. Please remember, there is no other alternative to the last step. Without it, the learning, the teaching, the research, everything will remain incomplete forever. With this said, the next part of the learning is about how much you as a researcher have evolved in using different types of AI tools. In simple words, what is your revolutionary level of using AI? Are you using it as a very initial level with respect to the past, earliest evolution, or are you somewhere in the middle of the evolutionary phase, or are you using AI to the fullest with respect to whatever latest evolutions in AI we have? Now, to understand ourselves better here, as per where we stand in learning AI with respect to what we already know, what we are using, and what we still need to learn, I'm going to use the concept of Dashavatara. Again, with due respect to the actual spiritual meaning, I'm taking this only for better explanation of evolution of AI. Thematically, it is easy with the 5 layers of AI that we discussed above. The 10 evolutionary phases are sorted as per the 5 layers of learning. So, the first layer, what we learned was the physical foundation, that is the Annamaya Kosha. I would put the first 2 phases of evolution under this. So, the first phase of AI is the fisher. So, you will act as a fisher. Now, what happens is, on establishing our human intent, the ideas that we have are often to just like one small fish in the vast ocean. Now, this intent is authentic, but it feels chaotic. It feels like extremely fast moving, directionless, with any contained idea. We have to act as a fisher to capture this fish of ideas before it loses itself in the never ending ocean of knowledge and evolution. So, the tools here are generally the social media. We understand who else or where else can these ideas be found from the very general and a very, very superficial level, just like we got connected with art therapy. And we found, let's say, advertisements of ATH on social media platforms like maybe Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on. What we did, we liked the topic and we saw that this is the university which is doing something like this. Correct? This is the university who is teaching something like this. That is where we connect. So the first layer is just capturing the fish. That is it. But here the limitation is that the fisher's net has holes. Now this social media cannot hold the bigger part of the idea. Right? Just like the net, it will slip out. It cannot give you many details of any course that is uploaded as an advertisement. Then what do? We call on that number for more details. Right? For that, we take admission into the university and then we learn more. Fine. That means we evolve to the next phase of technology. The next phase now here is the stabilizer. So what happened in the previous phase was that it was unstable. It had no permanent or fixed place where the knowledge can be actually held, or content of the knowledge can be stable. We will find the solution to that in the second phase by learning the stable containers. Just like how we all are in one specific WhatsApp group for a specific course that we are taking, so that group is a container. Now, how we receive the recorded videos and notes on Google Drive, and how we store different assignments and projects on different files and PDFs and presentations and folders. In the same way, the idea of the field of therapy, which we were in a fast moving and was running all around, is now contained in a particular place. This is now with the direction and stability and is contained under a safe roof. This is exactly what we do with the AI as well, or with technology as well for that matter. Right? So here our tools are storage tools like files and folders and drives and clouds. We can use formats like documents and PDFs and PPTs and MP3 and Excel sheets, etc. Again, there is a limitation here. So imagine that you have lots and lots and lots of folders now, because a lot of knowledge is being contained in one simple place. Now you have hundreds of files and videos and maybe tables and images from which you have learnt. You have stored all under different folders, different files in your drive. The next problem is, if you really want to search one topic out of so many folders, you really have to again fall into its limitation of opening each and every folder, or try to find out the file in which you may or may not have labeled correctly. The limitation here is that your folder cannot search on its own and present you what you are looking for. So what is the key insight here? That now if we learn at least till the second phase, we have already evolved from the foundational phase, that is the first layer. That is, we have already swam the vast ocean, and we have contained all the knowledge that we had to in one place. Now let us move on to the next level, which is the flow level. Alright, so all the knowledge that you have as of now, that you have received with respect to research now, has to have some kind of energy into it so that it flows and connects to the world outside of your zone as well. So it's like now from the ocean, you need to come out as land animals. This is where the level 2, the flow layer, that is the Pranamaya Kosha, begins. And under this again, I'm going to take the next two phases, that is the phase 3 and the phase 4. So phase 3 is the digger. Now we have the phase 2. We have one single place where all our knowledge data is hoarded. Correct? The first layer would have been enough if you just want to see what is happening in the world. Just, to gain superficial knowledge. But we didn't want it to stop there. So we started learning. Now we started storing everything that we have learned in the second phase. Correct? But we cannot stop there. We have to come out on land. Using the World Wide website, where you can find information on everything and anything in just few seconds by using search engines. Like simple search engines, like in previously there was Wikipedia, now it is Google, the website, the main search engine, search bar that we see on Google. Correct? There are many pages for information, public libraries are there, open libraries are there, and all these are again the data storing places outside of your knowledge system. So whatever we learn in ATH, we store, let us say, in one folder, that is phase 2. Now if we have to search more about that, like let us say if we get some project, we go on net and we try to search more about it, right? That is your phase 3 evolution. But again here, the limitation is that these search engines are so vast that they have information on all topics. It has information about food, it has information about dance, it has information about trends, and literally everything. So it's like they're jack of all but master of none. These tools have those animal like characters which will dig in everything that you want on any topic that you ask. In simple word, it is like that chatterbox uncle who has some contribution on each and every topic, irrespective of what background he comes from. But there is a good part to it. His network is so strong that you will at least be able to find the start of whatever you are searching. And the limitation is, while you dig out this information from the search engine, along with that, along with the treasure that you are looking for, a lot of slit, mud, soil, dirt also comes out. It becomes really difficult to understand what is rusted and what is antique. So in other words, it will take up a lot of time to find out which searched answers is factually correct and which is an added non-authentic information to it. This takes us to the phase 4, that is the untangler. Now that the data that we have is so generalized that the specific data that we are looking for looks like a needle in a haystack. Also, the hays in the stack here are entangled to such an extent that finding the needle feels impossible. In order to find the appropriate data from the tangled tag along with the data that we have received from the third phase, we can use better search engines. Instead of just asking that uncle who knows a bit of everything, we can ask someone who is better at finding the results that we desire from. Here comes the simple Google tools that, or the general tools that we all know up to a certain level. For example, instead of Google, who speaks everything about everything, we, instead of going to the search engine of Google, we go to the search engine of Google Scholar, because it will speak only about research. Alright, we can go to ResearchGate, PubMed, Semantics, Scholars, and many other search engines where a lot of knowledge is stored on a topic that you want to search. Apart from these search engines, the initial AI can also be counted in the phase. Now, what are initial AIs? They are the chatbots that we all know, like the simple ChatGPT, simple Gemini chatbot, for that matter, even the simple Google AI and other generic window AI tools in which you ask something and they give you the answer. Fine, that is a simple, it's called a chatbot. So, chatbot can also come in phase 4 in the untangler. What happens here is, instead of searching something, you simply ask the AI tool to search something for you. So if you go to Google AI instead of Google Scholar, and in Google AI, if you ask, I want research papers to be searched from Google Scholar, ResearchGate, PubMed, Semantics, all 4 together, then it will extract those particular research for you directly. Instead of you going to the 4 different tools, you can directly use AI, who will go to 4 different tools and search out the research paper for you. But again, these search engines, they are the first smartest available place for us to go. It feels really wild. Why? Because it feels that we have everything now. But the limitation is that everything is still in the wild. We need to have better precisions here. We don't want to live in the forest as humans, do we? This is where the feeling of that half animal and half human starts coming in picture. You may be feeling, by using all the chatbots and getting perfect answers, you will feel like the king of the forest. But you are not yet completely human when it comes to searching or using AI, because this was just the baby step of AI. That simple chatbots that we use, they are just little babies of AI, and we are not going to trust the baby's knowledge when it comes to research, are we? So the keynote here is that the generic tools are now not just engines where you can search something, but they are our engines where you can even ask questions. So if the search engines were the best of it, like the these ask engines, now that they have AI, they are like half lion, half human. These generic AI knows exactly from which search engine they should dig their data from. They are amazing depending on what you are asking it to. But the untangling capacity that it has becomes better if, in this case, only how you ask. It's not just what you ask. Okay, you need to have the skill of generating a correct prompt which will do the best job, because remember, you are a human. The way you ask to a human should be different than the way you ask to a machine. A machine is not a human, right? So the language in which the machine understands is different from the language in which humans will understand you. So you need to ask your question, frame your question in such a way that the AI understands correctly. That is called prompting. But remember, even here, even if you give the correct prompting, mindfulness has still not started. We are still at level 2. Most of the casual AI users will stop here. They will not go further. But we are not one of them. We will not stop at the answers that chatbot gives us. We are researchers, and if we are using AI for research, it is only going to work if we move ahead and do not stop here. What happens here is, why is it necessary to learn AI with the next layer, even if it is giving the best possible answers in phase 2 itself? In the phase 4, the layer 2 itself, because do you remember the story of monkey and the veg from Panchatantra? Let us just quickly go through that. It will answer this question very well. So in a forest, there was a group of carpenter who were cutting a log and were off to their lunch break. So in order to prevent the half-cut log to snap back, they inserted a piece of veg in between the neck. Now this is done so that their time and energy which they put in for previously while they cut the log, it doesn't get wasted, and when they come back they can start from that point onwards. Okay, so there was a group of monkey who was sitting on the tree nearby, and they were observing all these things, and one of the monkey could not contain its curiosity, and he jumped right on the log to find out what is that exact thing that has been inserted between the neck. He was not mindful enough to understand that his jumping around is an action which was entirely born out of its curiosity only. And neither was he intellectual enough to understand that the reason of the veg was for just to save the work that these carpenters had done previously. He acted immediately out of the second layer of his understanding. Correct? In a fraction of a second after jumping onto the log, he put out the wedge and the half-cut log snapped instantly, crushing his tail and bleeding him to death. Let us compare this story with the researcher who used generic AI tools like chatbot of ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, Claude, etc. When they are using these tools with no deep learning levels of mindfulness and intellect, they get caught in the curiosity. The answers that these AI tools create are so beautiful and so perfect that it instantly feels that it is correct. Mesmerized by the flawless outcome, the user believes in the result generated by generic AI so much that they forget to use the mind and intellect to further think over and verify the results they get. They fall into the loop of asking more and more questions. Even they learn to give perfect prompts to AI tools and they receive more and more better answers for them. They end up writing their whole research paper right at this point. They forget that the job is not yet done, and they finally end up with either their papers being rejected or flagged as plagiarism and unethical. Moral of the story here is, in order to learn something, you really need to dive in deep into more layers and not just work with the top 2 layers. Correct? With this, we move on to the third level, that is the mindful level or the Manomaya Kosha, where we are going to speak about the next two phases. So the fifth phase is like a precision dwarf. Now, what happened in phase 4? The content of the data that we received is very strong. It looks correct also, but it is still wild. The amount is very vast for practically finding what we need from the available knowledge. We have to often give a lot of time to understand a lot of data, and in return, we hardly find a few acceptable ones. So, we need better AI tools compared to the phase 4, which will act as a magnifying glass, or which would act as a task engine but with more precise outcome, so that we save our time and energy that we use for irrelevant data. This is where the use of specific AI tools begin. So tools like Perplexity, Consensus, Elicit, and many such tools, that's their job that we do. We use these AI tools. They are made for researchers. These AI tools, they don't rely on generic prompts. They are smarter than the generic, both, and will produce better results with more precision. So the best prompts that we can use for chatbot may not work in these tools. So even if you think that, okay, you have learned how to generate amazing prompts, if you put the same prompts in these chatbots, no, that is not going to work. These tools are smarter. Their values are high. They are either chargeable, or even if they are free, they give you free limited credits to work. Meaning what? You can just ask, let us say, one prompt or two prompts or maximum 5 prompts, not more than that. And if you have only limited credits which are free, you cannot afford to make mistakes in how you ask this question. It's like you are given only one chance to ask the question, ask correctly. The problem here is that even who knows how to use the phase 4 of prompting to AI in a very correct way, they also tend to fail here. Why? It's not because the question is wrong, it is because the language of the question is wrong. So these tools, these precision tools, they have a very strict computer language kind of thing which they need to understand. You need to give perfect commands to them. Alright. So in order to generate their own language, now obviously we are not going to go and study the computer language as a whole, right? But what will happen is, instead of using up all the free credits for just nothing, the best way is to use this AI tool. First, you all should go to the generic AI tools in phase 4. Give a generic prompt there. Now those AI tools are free. Okay, so you give them a prompt that I am going to do so and so research in, let us say, Perplexity. And I want you to generate the best prompt that Perplexity can understand. That is where your generic AI tool will generate the best prompt for you to copy and paste in Perplexity. And now that is something that Perplexity understands well. What will happen? Here, you really don't have to go somewhere to learn how to prompt correctly to the specific tools. You can use the generic AI which you already know, and make that generic AI to generate prompts. Instead of asking question directly into the chatbot, ask a chatbot how to ask a question to your specific tool. I hope this is clear. Then you can copy paste that particular prompt which your Google AI or ChatGPT or Gemini has generated for you, and you can use these tools of precision like Perplexity and Consensus and Elicit. They all are researched oriented tools. Okay, they are not generic, they are different kind of precision tools used for different reasons. So every tool has its own strength, every tool has its own target audience, every tool has its own primary source from which it does its searching. And obviously, depending on that, you can think which tool is best for you. Now, how to understand which tool does what? I have given you in your notes, I have given you this table, the three uh, comparison of these three generic, quite common but very good research tools. But there are many other. Okay, so if you have time, if you are interested, do not stop at these three. Go ahead and ask your chatbot uncle of phase 4 to find many such tools for you. And all you have to do is try, do some error, mistakes, go ahead and go through phase 1, 2, 3 and layer wise and study those tools, and you will find which tool works for you. So, the idea of, oh, this tool is supposed to be used, no, this tool only is supposed to be used, is all wrong. Every day, 10 new tools pop up, and they all are good. Which tool do you connect with the best according to your work is something that we can learn for ourselves. So there is no one fixed tool that is used. What I'm trying to teach you here is how to understand which tool is good for you. Okay, so this phase is something where you will actually start your correct research. Till now you are just finding out information, and the dangerous part of information is that it looks like knowledge, but it is not. They provide there is limitations to this phase also. They will provide the what but not the how of your unique thesis. We are operating from a point of view of searching at this level. Yet, of course, it will search with precision, but it still does not have the way to understand what is to be selected and what is to be rejected. It will feel that even the precise amount of data is so huge for what we as researchers can actually find answers from. It definitely is better from the previous phase, but the vastness of the amount of data that we receive is still out there. Maybe the amount of precision data that we receive from this phase is better than the previous ones, but even then, that feels like a lot. At the beginning, we understand that we feel like we are getting, we look like a dwarf to do this job, but the result coming out from the dwarf are so huge, so gigantic in their own way, that we again get confused into what to choose and what not to choose. We need a way to clear out the things that we do not need for our research, even if they are correct. There comes the phase 6. It is the clearer. Now we have huge amount of data for our research if we use phase 5 correctly, which is mostly correct. And this huge correct data can overwhelm us. This is the time when we often get confused about our confidence on research topic. We have thousands of correct data, and therefore working on one single data can make us doubt ourselves. This is one of the huge side effects of AI. Whenever you feel like this, make sure that you take a break, take up some art therapy activity or some other activities which is therapeutic for yourself, and then come back. Do not let yourselves be slave to AI. Okay, do not use AI to such an extent without reflecting on yourself that you lose your cognitive skills instead of gaining them. In order to protect ourselves from feeling inferior to the artificial intelligence, we have to act ruthlessly. We will have to turn into a very vigilant soldier who will destroy everything, even if it is right. It will destroy it. Why? Because its aim now is to protect one thing. This is where we eradicate all the irrelevant data, even if it is correct, so that we can focus only on the data that are relevant to our own research paper. And this is where you will understand that having that first base bread of human intent is so important, especially for a human researcher. What tools can be used here? I have tried many tools, and the best tool which I can tell you so far is Notebook LM. The beauty of the tool is that it is free to a very high level and it is personal as well. So, up until now, all the AI tools that we connected had a direct connection or understanding, or the source was the World Wide Web. The answer that is generated was coming from the sources which are not in our control. But in Notebook LM, what we feed is the source that it will start its research from. So we copy the result links that we get from the phase 5, and we think which links are important to our research paper. We simply copy those links into Notebook LM, such that those links are now the primary source of information for our research. Because the Notebook LM will study and will find out only those things that you ask it to search from. So let us say Perplexity gave you 30 sources. You go through those 30 sources, and out of those 30 sources, let us say you find only 5 sources that you think that, okay, these 5 are the only sources that is relevant to me. You pick up only those 5 sources and you put in your Notebook LM. Now, when you ask the Notebook LM some questions or whatever you ask it to search from, it is not going to search from the World Wide Web, but it will be searching from the sources that you have given to your notebook. So now it is like your personal notebook. And it can be research links or notes that you have saved or written by, for that matter, in document in phase 2, or the general ideas that you have generated in phase 1 also can be added here, or the generic outcome that you received from your phase 4. It can be interviews that you get from your participants, the speeches that you have heard from your speakers, masters, or for that matter even simple YouTube videos as well. Anything and everything that you feel correct and relevant to your topic can be transferred to Notebook LM in such a way that now that becomes your primary source of thinking. The more relevant sources that you add here, the smarter your notebook becomes. This is how you convert the Notebook LM in your personal AI agent. So, Notebook LM is the Google Notebook LM. It acts as a personalized, closed-looped AI research assistant that only uses specific sources that you upload. It prevents the AI hallucination found in generic tools, and this makes it incredibly powerful tool for academia, market research, literature review. The following comprehensive breakdown lists everything that Notebook LM can do to assist your research flow, categorized by stage. You can go ahead and find this in the notes. Alright, it can do a lot for you. Again, go to Notebook LM, open the, first see the physical interface, try to understand how to give the source, then you start using it mindfully. Alright, so you can visit the notes for more details on Notebook LM. I have added a lot. But the limitation again is that it is a strict walled garden design, meaning it cannot access the live internet to fill information gaps or update outdated facts. Additionally, it cannot perform deep critical thinking, meaning it will replicate any bias or errors present in your uploads while occasionally pulling citations out of the context. Finally, it's like, if you have added a speech that says that mandala can be a source of stress relief for everybody, it will be that. Throughout your research, the biasness will always be there that yes, mandala can be used. So it becomes like 100% thing there, which really you and me both know may or may not be the case. Correct? It may or may not be the 100% correct. That is the limitation. That is the gap. Because notebooks are completely isolated silos. You cannot connect insights across different projects unless you put the source of other projects in it. And unless you keep on, refilling the data. And uploading unpublished data may present privacy risks. So we go to the next level, that is the fourth level, which now is the intellectual level. So here comes the phase 7 and the phase 8. The phase 7 here acts as a guardian. So the AI is like a programmed, stochastic parrot, which will agree to you. It will validate all your biases and errors because it is designed to be helpful. It is not designed to be a critic. If you say one day that, oh, can I eat rice? It will say, yes, you can eat rice. I will ask, is it healthy? It will give you all the health benefits of rice. But then if you say, oh, no, I have done this operation and doctor has said no and I cannot use rice. Doctor has said not to eat rice. It will say, yes, you should not eat rice for this operation. Then if you say, but I'm feeling very, I'm having this craving of eating rice. Can I eat a lot of vegetables with it so that it doesn't give me side effect? It will say, yes, vegetables are very good in health. Go ahead. It will prevent you, but take care. It will never say no. And if you fall into this effect, we will fail to understand whether what we are doing is ethically correct or not. We need to have a way where we can get the results that are generated from phase 6 to be validated. We need an AI tool which will help us to find our mistakes and ethically guiding us to make sure that we do not present anything out there in public which is not only harming ourselves, our research, but also the readers. Originality AI is an enterprise-grade AI detector and plagiarism checker. As a researcher, you use it to to give a quality control check before submitting draft or journal or advisories or stuff like that. The Cited AI is a deep learning platform that evaluates how scientific paper cites one another. Instead of just counting citations, it provides actual context of those citations. So again, you can, like how you connected different type of precision tools, here as well you can go ahead and find different type of guardian tools. So there are many, all right. They all have their primary focus to do something or the other. They all have their key metric, all right, and they all have with this you can understand what they are best for. Of course, there are limitations here as well. It introduces the distinct risk to your research workflow to severe systematic biases and technical limitations. So, for example, originality frequently suffers from false positive, often flagging high quality academic prose and text while written by non-native English speakers as AI generated simply because formal writing follows highly predictable patterns. So even if you go on WhatsApp chat and if you type one word, it will predict your next word. It will give you 2-3 options. So if I type Himali, there will be 2-3 options down there is, was, that way. If I type is, it will tell the, then I say then it will say good, bad, so the next predicted word is already generated by AI in its mind, even before you tell what to do. How the auto dictionary makes errors if you don't switch it off. How do they make error? Because they already predict that, okay, the user must be typing this. and that is why I should be doing this. So again, this assumption basis is there when it comes to the limitation. So even SciTAI struggles with complex academic nuances. It occasionally misclassifies a critical citation as supporting, and it has massive database blind spots in humanities, non-English publications, older historical papers, like some, if we are searching for some ancient wisdom, only if it is connected to the correct English words that AI can read or use, only then you will be able to find the correct answers. Since it has a strict publisher indexing walls, the SciTAI lacks conversational memory for follow-ups. All the other apps will give you follow-up queries, and it will give you management features like folders. It will ask you to report and all these things, but these phase 7 tools do not do that. Now this is where we need to use our phase 8. We need to understand the strategy of using all the top 7 phases. Till phase 7, we cannot digest a massive 100-page thesis or literature review in a single message. If you will dump everything at once, it's comprehensive slips, and it will miss the critical nuances in the methodology. You must spend time distilling your research into tight, dense abstract first. Also, even if you have extracted the best research ideas from phase 7, it still has to be accepted by the panelist. You still have to prove that your research will open better ventures for others in education field and will benefit the society. For the defense that you are going to give to go smoothly, you need to prepare yourself strategically. The Pro tools, the Pro Max tools, the max levels of the tools, which are paid tools, can work with multiple AI brains at a time. It is like opening a panel with 3 different experts generating strategies as per their field on the same topic that you have submitted. This helps you to understand and see what otherwise is not visible in your paper directly. Now, these tools are paid. So, if you want to skip the paid tools, do this with a human. This is where our real-time mentors, our friends, our our speakers, our teachers, our colleagues, and real humans comes in picture. Talk to them about your research. They are the ones who will help you to understand how to strategize your paper so that you are ready for your defense. But if you are using AI for this, yes, AI, there are AI tools to help you understand and see what strategies you can think of when you have your paper, like Claude Anthropic. So it is the artifact section of Claude, not the general chatbot. Please remember, no general chatbots will be able to help you. Okay, the custom GPT, not chat GPT, but that is the part further deep down in custom GPT. Then there is Quora, the POE, the COES. All these are the tools that can help for our strategy building or for improving the knowledge of how our research paper can be more intellectual. So what it does is it opens 3 different windows at a time, and one window will be answering to you with respect to, let us say, a research expert. The second window will be asking to you as maybe a business expert. The third research will ask you as per maybe a clinical expert. Okay, so 3 different people will be asking you questions or will be helping you strategize the same idea in 3 different ways. So how we have specific mentors and speakers for specific topics, and the same topic can be answered by different people depending on what their niche is. Something similar to this you can do here. Obviously, across all these tools, the universal limitation is that they are fundamentally text prediction engines rather than true domain experts. There is no real mentor sitting there inside AI. AI is just acting to be a mentor to you. All right? Or it is just acting to help you strategize it. There is no real mind behind it, no real human intelligence behind it. They create the academic content out of the citations that they have. Right? They may create entirely beautiful, real feeling like content, but it is entirely fabricated. At the end of the day, that is artificial intelligence and not human intelligence that you are interacting with. There ends your 8th phase, and entering the 9th phase is your 5th layer, that is Anandamaya Kosha here now. Alright, please remember that all these things that we did, even the best of the AI tools that we used, they all are artificial. None of it has human soul connected directly. And therefore, everything that you extract from this will feel hollow, will feel dry, even if it is rich in content, and even if you take the best of make the best use of AI, you search everything, you go through ethically and everything, it will still not have the human touch. For this, you will have to let the reflection be humanized. The best tool here is having a journal or writing down. If you remember at the beginning of the session, I told you that AI cannot write your research paper. It can help you in researching, it can help you in searching, it can help you in drafting and all these things, but it will not write for you. That you have to write on your own, because if you do not write on your own and end at phase 8, all these plagiarism tools will detect the computer language. Even if you have done all the researches authentically and spent your days collecting samples and thinking about it, even if you take ideas directly, cut, copy, paste from AI, the language will be the computer language. It will not be human connect. And AI, if it is not as smart as what humans are, it is at least smart to understand what AI has generated. So without this final step of humanizing whatever you have extracted from AI and reflecting on it and connecting it with on a real platform with your human intelligence, it will remain plagiarized. Because at the end of the day, it is not your search, it is AI's research, and AI will fight for it that no, I gave this. You understanding? So why is it called plagiarism? Even if you have done it on your own, is if you use the cut, copy, paste directly from AI, it will say plagiarized, because it is not wrong, it is not lying. AI gave you that result, and you simply, without converting into your own idea, you put it in your research paper, and you cannot say that this is my idea. Even if the idea is yours, the work done is by AI. So AI will ask, you cannot co-author AI in your research paper, correct? So the 9th phase is the ultimate phase that we know that we have as of now, is the human connection for our level 5. Of course, here I would add a note that AI is being evolved in such a way that the AI will act as your journals. AI acts as your reflective journals. You feed in so many datas inside AI that now it starts thinking like you. That is what is agentic AI, or creating AI agents. All right, so yes, there is a very fast paced evolution that is happening in the 9th phase of AI as well. but that is at a very experimental level. And we as researchers, even if we know how to use that, it is at a coding level and so on. Even if we know how to use that, we will not end there. The last should be the human intent, because our job is not digital, our job is humanity. Without adding the concept of humanity in your research can never be truly yours, it will remain AI's. Even the perfect AI agent cannot hold space. It cannot feel the somatic shifts, or it cannot carry the sacred burden of the client's healing journey. You have searched the world to build the logic of your theses. Now you must search yourself to build the soul of your theses. This is where you make it unplagiarizable. There are a few points to remember with which I would like to end the video. First, name, place, animal, thing. Never ever add the personal details if you yourself also, or the client, that exposes their name, place, animal, or thing. Here, the animal is the non-negotiable or non-acceptable behavior of the participant, and the thing is the reason why they have come to you as a client or a participant. The second is, it is out there. Remember, once you press enter, it sends the data and it is out there. It may be on a private domain, but it is always retrievable. Do not enter anything that you should not let the gossipers know. Third, the monkey and the wedge. Never pull at research threads without a strategic wedge, which is your core research question. Without the wedge, your tail will get stuck in the log of information overload. The next is the psychopathic parrot. Always ask your AI, what are the weaknesses in my logic? Never ask, is it good? Because it will say, yes, it is good. The reckless elimination mandate. In the era of data fatigue, your value as the researcher is the measured by what you choose not to include in your paper. You need to have your final pledge. You need to have the Kalki within. The 10th avatar is not an external savior. It is the internal revolution is that you will be bringing in. You are being trained to evoke the Kalki avatar within, the therapist wisdom that you have, using your own somatic and awareness to ground your research. The architect's precision should be there. Use the 9 layers of AI to organize your theses, but have an healer's intent. Ensure that every word in your paper contributes to the healing of humanity. The machine is the intern. You are the architect. Go forth and heal. Thank you very much. I am very happy that I could share my knowledge with you. Hope to see you all around.